be with you in a second. There's some other people coming in. How's it going? It's been a little while, but I know where to pick up. I'll jog your memory for you, don't worry about it.
Welcome to Grimm's. I'm Grimm. Thank you for joining us for episode 8 now, is it? We're all the way up to 8. Not bad at all. Of our Ravnica-themed D&D campaign. Back in the bar, as per usual. Regulars here now. We've got Chris, then we got Saren, of course we got Lisa, and then last but not least, there's Mr. Mark.
Hi, Mark.
How's it going?
Also, like always, just like these guys, we've got our lovely, faithful sponsors all over the place with their lovely, excellent links down in our description. Definitely check them out. They are extremely helpful. Oh, I'm talking to the audience. What did I miss?
No, I was trying to do a thing with the logo and then I missed it.
Oh.
Mark got it though.
Well, if we miss something, I want you guys to give some extra special attention to them then.
Yeah.
And
especially this one.
Oh, God.
Gonna make it harder for editing.
More editing.
That one right there.
That's right. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind giving us a little bit of that love and attention, like, subscribe for the video, that would be fantastic. And now we get on to the special sponsor that gets all of our love and all of our attention all the time, and that's Arcana Vault, because they've got their new Mystery Dice booster pack that we get to open up and see what's going on.
Oh my god.
All right. They've all been pretty darn good.
Oh no.
So now we're going to check this out.
You got your mic?
Broken.
Yup. Oh, these are the coolest. Yup.
Oh,
I love them.
Really?
Oh, black, red, mixed gold numbering.
Oh,
These are phenomenal.
That sounds so nice.
Sounds like
And
good for
I
you.
get to
Yeah,
use
it
them.
does.
And this is a good session for using these dice.
Rakdos
Woo-woo.
dice.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill us.
Yes, Rakdos dice.
Oh, I better
That's
shine
kind of
it.
what I was thinking too.
Lisa, you best perform.
Oh, those are very
they're
Rakdos.
lovely.
Those are very Rakdos.
And you know what? As I make room for
That
those
is so
Rakdos
cool.
dice, that means I have to give my old set away. And I gotta say, with these green, snotty, putrescent dice, I think she knows. I think she knows. They're going to Saren!
Oh god.
Yay!
Yay! I will always
This is what
be
you survive.
reminded
I
of-
love that you keep getting the dice of the stuff that kills you.
Yeah.
Man, you're gonna end up with so much dice.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have so many dice. I'm gonna be I'm a little dice goblin.
Oh my
god.
Oh my
She's a
god.
little
She was a
dice
goblin.
goblin.
Dice goblin.
That's right.
Now, the thing is I believe that just like we pointed out, she has so many dice. I think she's got another set,
Too many.
which means that those are now going to be part of
Gorgeous
our
clear ones.
dice
the
giveaway.
First ones we got.
That's right. So those are the original ones from the intro, and we're going to be working out some way of getting that distributed out to you guys. Just hang in there for some details. We got to organize this stuff and get it all kind of nice and ironed out.
Figuring it out.
Streamlined.
You'll see something popping up in the week this airs, maybe. Maybe. So you gotta check. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Chris knows things.
Right. I know stuff.
Well, yeah, so you got the dice, and now I have to organize my new dice. But while I'm organizing that, let's go into a little bit of a recap of what you guys did last episode. And
So there we were.
yes, so there they were. In the ruin of a Golgari rot farm house. They had paid their respects to the former owners of that house who had been killed by minor undead, who were just too far away from the influence of the myths to actually be protected from something that would otherwise be considered just a minor pest. But they are on the trail of Andavarius' father, who stopped by here for a night, and who should be relatively close by. They needed some rest, so they hunkered down, talked to each other, found out a little bit about each other, also found out how little they know about themselves in some cases. They've got some goals, though. They have some ideas for how to remedy that. Somebody lost some hair, somebody got a lot of cuddles, all at once from some nasty things.
Really, anytime you talk about anything negative, it's gonna be taken.
Somebody raised
I
the
didn't
dead.
lose hair.
Oh, yes!
yes.
Not this time.
Yes, there was the hair loss,
Big
there was
deal.
the bugs in the bug cabinet for the food, and somebody has actually outdone even themselves by giving the farmers a second chance at unlife.
Wow.
Not bad. And then they almost joined the farmers by crossing the farm,
Right.
where you kind of got caught in the vanilla pudding that is the kind of sifted area of the rot farm.
Nice way to say it.
Nearly drowned, but they managed to pull you out and extract you, and you've got those psychotropic mushrooms that you were after, which you were planning on using to hopefully make Veneer trip so many balls that he remembered things about himself.
So many balls.
No.
I believe that's where we left off.
That's that stream all over.
About 50 feet away from where we started.
Right.
One of us nearly having died, but it's just Tink. So she's lived through worse at this
normal.
point.
Mhm.
Awesome.
It's normal.
You guys, I believe it ended with you guys like giving birth, pulling her out,
Yeah.
crying
Getting
her
her
gut.
cleaned
I
up.
was just being cleaned
Yes,
and
that's it.
held by
Yeah.
Zoralia.
Excellent. What would you guys like to do now in the wake of what's just occurred?
Well,
Sorry.
that-
I'm just going to be using my hit dice to get back up, but other than that, yeah.
yeah, you're all healed up. Feeling better. I already did heal you, I believe, in the last game.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
you
we
do.
should take a moment or two and have a little short rest.
Yeah, that's
And-
how she's gonna get to spend those hit dice in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. As we do that, I will sing a nice song of rest as well, so you can get an extra d6 to your health there.
So you're cleaning her up and like, they're there, they're
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Kind of patting, rocking her like a baby, and you're like, this is demeaning, but I love it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
That's
Zoralia.
all.
I love it. I'm just going to be like cozied in.
Awesome. So, I don't know if the rest of you guys took any damage, but you can spend hit dice, and she's got her Song of Rest, which gives an additional d6. I know that you had like a minor exhaustion, so that is now gone on a short rest.
Yeah, 'cause we
I'll
stopped
get +4 to
Right.
your health there.
Hmm.
I'm back up. Yeah.
Oh,
Good
are you
job.
getting temporary hit points?
No.
+4 to health?
We're just healing.
No, just healing for 4,
Okay.
sorry.
Gotcha,
I was
gotcha.
really excited for a second. I'm like, oh my god,
Oh.
I'm not a piece of paper
No,
blowing in the
no.
wind.
Yeah.
But no, I am.
All right, so we got what we came after. You happy?
Yeah, maybe a good time to maybe try some of that.
You think we should try it down here? I mean,
Well, I mean,
with all kinds of stuff that's gonna come after and kill us.
I mean,
Well,
if
I
we,
don't see why not.
If we did it up there, it'd just be a bunch of guys trying to kill us and rob us and stuff like that, right? But I know that environment. You know this environment. It's not really that different, aside from the bugs and stuff.
It could make us braver.
Well, as long as we can still stay on the trail, I suppose. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
how good are you at handling yourself?
I'm great.
I've got levitation. I've got levitation, so he doesn't even have to walk anymore.
So yes, well, you can just float him up in the air and he can tag along.
Does that work for like a minute, or is that like
10 minutes, and then you go back down, and I can put you back up again.
seems
Sounds
like a
like a
waste
lot
of a
of
spell?
fun.
But I think it'd be alright. Or use it.
Better than you wandering off.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, we try. How long would a dose of this stuff last? This journeyman mushroom.
Hmm. I'm going to have you do either a medicine or nature
All right, I'll just.
to investigate the quality of this batch of mushrooms. You haven't maybe partaken before, but you've worked around it.
Okay.
You're familiar with that kind of mushroom.
Okay.
It's Dad.
That's an 18.
18.
I've seen its effects on the slaves. The workers
workers.
around the farm.
Oh!
It seems to last around.
Your mum is
Um,
terrible.
This looks like it's a pretty good batch.
Yes.
So this would hit you for a good hour. And that's on like the lower end. Even if you took one of the smallest ones of it, it would affect you for about an hour or so.
And you're okay being like this if we go under attack?
Not really, but I mean,
I mean, you're gonna be seeing a lot of new colors. Maybe some old faces that you haven't seen in a long time.
I would like to see
Yeah.
colors.
to me, there might just be new faces. Unless it reloaded faces. I'm not quite sure how it's gonna work.
Let's do it.
I can't stop you.
Yeah, gonna be honest.
mean,
no, it's a stupid idea.
I'll
I'm
try
really
to help
excited.
you along.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Should we like?
Alright, just
Hold
cut
on.
one in half. One of those little mushrooms, cut it in half. You can take half. If you insist for some reason.
What?
Yes.
Hold on, wait a minute. So we're all gonna get a little bit loopy.
Apparently,
Well, I'm going to. I don't
I'm
know
not.
about the other two.
I have some sense in me.
I'm tiny, so I feel like it would be even more of an effect on me.
I think we need two of us to actually.
Someone's
look
gonna
at
guide
these
me
two.
through
I
this.
will
It's not a
I will hold
rave.
your hand and it will be okay.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
And yeah, don't play too much violin or anything. All right,
Why
you're still
not?
gotta try sneaking about. Don't need you dancing. All
But
kinds of
that's
crazy
what
stuff.
I do.
Make lots of noise, but let's try to be quiet.
I feel like
None for you if you can't control yourself.
I'm always quiet.
We've had a short rest in this area, right?
Yeah, you've had that
Well,
to
well,
kind of
chatting
rest and
and
recover and sit down and
Okay.
clean yourselves up and
So with-
sort through the mushrooms.
With my passive perception, and now that we've been here for a while, do I at least know the area that I'm immediately in regards to way things would come in or go out? Hear anything that would
Yeah, so one thing that you like as you're kind of taking in the environment,
Mhm.
sitting there kind of relaxing and resting, is you realize that this place has actually it doesn't look like it, but it's been given a fair bit of attention. So a lot of those weird smaller tunnels where some kind of vermin or rat or giant centipede could crawl through, you can see that that's actually been stuffed and packed tight and
Okay.
kind of blockaded.
It's a fairly safe space,
Yes,
even
actually.
though
Someone gave us
the
some
owners
attention.
just died in there.
Yeah, there are still weaknesses and things still batter through those defenses, but you can see that it's not like an open kind of wild death trap. They have kind of made an enclosure of this space.
we were
in
gonna
what
do
ways
it
they
down
can.
here. Here would be the better.
Yeah.
Okay, seems good to me.
But we're gonna keep trudging along. All right.
do it.
So half of this little journeyman for you,
All right.
half for you.
Woo!
Is half enough to do what I need to do?
You're just supposed to lick it.
Just lick it.
Yeah, just give it a lick. There you go, and you should feel that fairly
All right.
quickly.
Now, as I'm sticking my tongue out and starting to lick, can I kind of use this as an opportunity to think as I'm being active and see if I can use what I know about my mind and how my work and stuff to meditate for a second, as I'm, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Can I
you're trying to recall
Yeah.
information. You're trying to guide yourself, since these guys aren't really
Yeah,
walking you
yeah,
through the process. You're trying to be like, okay, think about important stuff that's been told to me while at the post office, things that have gone missing, things that are vitally important. I gotta make these associations in what ways I can. I'm gonna have you do a history.
ooh, a history?
And you
I just
done
kind of
8.
chew on it for a minute and then spit it out after he says that.
Chew.
21.
21.
Rolled an 18. That's a
Damn.
3.
All right. So while you're getting your thoughts in order and you hear Andavaria saying, all right, you should be feeling the effects fairly soon. And you're like, whoa.
Oh yeah, there he goes. All
You're
right.
kind of like,
You want to float him up there?
Oh yeah.
This is amazing.
Wow, that was fast.
and you realize that
Boy.
as he's getting there, he's like, whoa, I'm feeling so many things. He's kind of still part rational as he's losing his
Mhm.
rationality. And I imagine Zeralia's just staring forward, just smiling. I'm gonna have you do a Constitution saving throw
Nice.
there,
Okay.
Zeralia, because you took an awful lot.
Not one. I just want to see what happens.
Now,
She's
stay
tired
with
for the
us.
rest of the day.
Stay with us, Vinny. Lock eyes.
Yeah.
9.
So, while he's still talking, you can see that she is only just able to move her mouth enough to be like, huh, bleh, the mushroom is stuck to the pointer of her tongue.
Yeah.
She, like, cracks it.
Get that.
But she's not distressed by it at all. You are having a great old time. Lisa, you are going to
Oh
count
my
as effectively stunned for the first little while. So you
Oh my
forfeit
god.
your actions and you can only speak faltering.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't float them both, can you? Because they both apparently can't move now.
I'm already floating.
Oh boy.
I haven't cast it yet, but yeah, sure.
I knew this
Now-
was a bad idea.
This Particular
while you're
shroom.
back.
allows you to associate things in your head without the normal kind of taking the logic train from point A to point B. It just kind of starts taking these associations hyper quickly, and as it might seem like dissimilar elements, but tiniest little similarities, it kind of like webs them all together. You just feel like you're hyper intelligent, like you can see the universe, man.
Wow, for me that's like,
Yes. And the thing is because you set yourself up so well, because you're like, I need to remember something important, things that I've been told. And she actually jogged your memory that slight bit already, so that line
clinging onto that.
is that last line that you get through your head before you kind of drift away into just letting it do what it does, and you hear, there's a new player in town, but he's not from around here. It's hard to pin down. You fly through your own mind, through all of these different conversations that you've had just in passing. You, as young as you can remember, which is only a few years back, but talking to other Demir agents, overhearing other conversations in the street between mothers and their children, fathers and their other workmates, things like that. You hear all these snippets of conversation where someone goes, Who's the living guild pact, mummy? Who is that? And then it slips across from that kid in the street talking to their mother to one of your fellow agents back in your room, oddly enough. But you don't remember having this person in your room until this moment where someone's going, they've picked up a name. Jace, Bellerin, something along them lines. To another line of these men in some kind of work area going, all right, so you're telling me there's another guy, guildmaster higher than them? Where is he? If there's this new player in town, how can nobody find him even when they want to? He's a new player in town, but he's not from around here. And you keep zipping through all of these different conversations of these new people who aren't from around the area that no one can seem to track. The most important man in the city, and the Azorius can't find him. Not even the dragon find him. Isn't the dragon gone? Hasn't he taken a break? Yeah, some other guy is leading the guild now. He doesn't leave for any reason. Last time was around the Decamillennium. You're getting hundreds of conversation in this blitz that's just all of these associations in your mind. What guild did he run for? If he was one of the guilds, wouldn't that guild be special, Dad? But no, it doesn't seem to be among them. Otherwise, they would have taken favor. Heard of a person. Gorgon. Hard to pin down, but worthwhile if you can find her. Vraska's the name. She's a new player in town, but she's not from around here. That little sentence just keeps popping up. The Gruul. Something weird's going on. They're getting rowdy, but not in the city. They're fighting amongst themselves out in the wilds. Let them. I don't care. That Borborigamos guy, if he's got to deal with his own guys, he can crush them and eat them. No. Problem isn't the Cyclops. Some kid, some scrawny guy, came out of nowhere. There's a new player in town? Yeah, but he's not from around here. You are tripping out until the very last thought that enters your head as you keep going through memories, gone, and then you just want to know more. You just want things to make sense. And that trigger takes you a completely different direction. You just turn right into a very dark alley where you recognize your body in different clothes in a shop, chopping meat with a cleaver, sampling soup with a ladle, just kind of seeing how salty it is. A couple people walk in, and they're pretty inconspicuously dressed, but the way that they move and the way that they're gesturing, they almost seem to be doing the hand motions and nodding their heads as if they're in conversation, but you don't hear anything until they come up to your counter and go, so, we heard that you're good enough that you're actually catering for a new consortium of merchants who have gotten a whole operation together in Wayport by Tin Street, right? Yeah. Ah. So, you're a new player in town. Good on you. You hear that? He's not from around here. And then as you chop into what you think is a piece of meat, you skip forward into a room that is a charnel house. There are bodies hacked apart everywhere, and you are this butcher moving through living people, not animals. And the ones that aren't hacked apart, you kind of look to them as you finish on one throat and start walking towards it. The guards choking, poisoned. This room is just devastated as you approach that next victim, and just before you swing, you're in your room again. And in the room is a giant spider in the corner looking out at you going, I can take it away, but it's not perfect. I can weave a web to have it make sense, but sometimes things stick that ought not. And your trip ends.
I'm gonna be like, if I see him tripping, I'm just gonna be like stroking him and be like, do you remember your birthday?
I'm still like,
Is that tripping? I know, I'm just gonna like be calming. Yeah.
I think at this
Oh
point,
my
if no
God.
one is guiding you on this journey,
Yeah.
I'll just be
you
like,
are just getting a series of images of flashes of stabbings, murderings, you moving and chasing through alleys. You feel like a wolf, and somebody is running and running, and they just drop the package. You can have it, and you leave the package on the floor. The thrill is in you, and you just, no, you're my target. They don't even know. You take them down. You are just. They're going, oh, do you remember your birthday? And you're just killing person after person after person.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're going into dark places.
I'm gonna put a rag in your mouth.
help me.
I'll just be like stroking you and being like
Why?
saying nice things.
Killing everybody.
Oh, God.
You killed everybody.
As you say, you killed everybody. You killed everybody. Guards are coming for him, and then the next flash, those guards are lying down, and there are other people going,
It's
let's
okay.
go. You've got another one today. That's what you put into his head.
Are you remembering?
I kill everybody.
It's
Who'd you
okay,
kill?
I'm sure you.
Everybody.
It's sure, Shandy. You're not helping. I'm sure you didn't kill people. It's okay. It's okay.
A lot of people.
Who'd you kill?
Everybody.
Your family?
Aww.
What?
Do you
Is it
remember
your family? Do you remember your family?
You say that?
Aw.
Thanks for guiding me.
Oh, God, you're the worst guy.
I am stroking
I'm putting
him.
these.
But yeah,
Maybe-
Murder
in
everyone.
that
Your
case,
family.
you go down like a dark path,
Oh.
and you're seeing all these people that are done, all these things that you're doing, and these people keep walking in at the end of the vision, going like, all right, next target, next. And then you see the spider in your room, and it's going, do you remember? And you say, how could I forget? He goes, I can make that go away. You don't have to remember. And you say, I don't want to. And then as the spider disappears, its body and its giant limbs, where each of those limbs are, you see a body in what looks like the back of your shop, your butcher shop. They are faces that you half remember. You know the ghost of them, and despite the fact that you cannot place names, you don't know how old they are, you don't remember your time with them, part of you, as you see that, and the mushroom makes all of those little connections to little bits of things, you get a flash of a kid going, huh, laughing, and then the body. And then
The same body?
Yeah, and then the lady's face as she closes her eyes to kiss you, and then it's the body again.
Oh, kiss
And
me.
that flashes through all 9 bodies that make up this spider layout of a corpse.
Can I figure out how they died? Can I make an assumption on how they
If-
died?
Tell us what you
If he's
see.
guided you there,
Okay.
you see the chop as you're chopping a rack of rib,
Hmm.
just chop, and the child drops.
Uh-huh.
Chop, and the woman drops.
Oh my god.
And then, yeah, as you're kind of like deboning a chicken to kind of like and pull that out, you do that to a smaller thing, and it carries on. 9 times
Come on,
as
Vinny.
Andy guides you down that path.
I hate you so much, such dick.
What you guys would see at this point, and it's probably good that you gagged him because he would be like biting and yelling, and he is probably weeping beyond control.
Yeah.
You, in the meantime, you have a much happier mindset. So you're like, yeah, you're having a blast.
Why is he it made him fly?
Yes, he's
I'm not
he's
flying.
He's not flying though.
Oh,
we can all fly
I'm just
now.
gonna like slowly fall backwards and lay there. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
flying.
I'll just let you
now.
down gently. Easy, yeah, I guess we're not walking anywhere. We're just gonna lie down here for a bit.
I'm taking a break here.
How you doing, Vinny?
Jay's blaring.
Jace,
Blaring?
who's Jace Blairin?
I don't know.
Is he the new player?
Raska.
Vraska. Vraska. Would I know these names?
You know the name Vraska. For
Okay.
sure.
Vraska.
Jace Valerian is a name that you guys, as important of a figure as he is, there is a reason his name is spoken of in almost like conjecture and rumor at best. Vraska, she was a big deal some time ago. The Azorius were looking for her big. It was a Gorgon. She worked with the Okran. They are the assassination branch of the Golgari. She had it in for them and their arresters big time. But
So would I know from...
But she's been gone for a while, or
she's been gone for... She came out of nowhere, was this big deal. Everyone had bounties on her. A lot of people
Right.
sought her out. A lot of the Teratogen, which are the non-elves and non-humans of the Golgari, looked up to her, and then she vanished. Utterly gone.
saying Vraska's back.
Completely gone. When you say Vraska's gone, there was another part to that vision that you got in
Sit back.
your when you were listening to that guy using the machine, when you said something's happening amongst the Golgari. The Territorian, they haven't been a political force for some time, but the Gorgons, something's got them riled. And when you say, is Vraska back? Vraska, the unseen, the Gorgon queen, the regal queen, something kind of jogs in your memory. There are a whole bunch of conversations, so many instances of important things that have passed straight through you that until this very moment you had no idea that you held.
Do I know Vraska?
You would not. You would not.
So,
Oh, you were with the Azorius. That's right.
So she
Vraska wasn't operating during your time, but the bounty is still up, and the Azorius do not forgive lightly. When someone becomes wanted, it is written effectively in magical stone. So, yes, you have heard of the Gorgon with the bounty on her head.
Okay,
Because would I
Vraska
have...
the Unseen.
Would... Oh, sorry.
sorry, I'm just gonna forget. Did you say that she was? What was the? I was typing. What was the last part of that thing where like the Gorgons are all riled up? Vraska's.
Vraska, the regal queen
Of the
of the Gorgons.
Teratogen?
Yes.
Did I catch whether or not she was back?
She's back.
No, I didn't catch. Okay.
She's back.
When that guy spoke to you about like, hey, there's a new player in town, something's up with the Azorius, something's up with the Gruul, he also said something's up with the Golgari. The Teratogen haven't been in charge for a long time, but something's got the Gorgons riled. And when Andy pointed you in that direction, like, Vraska, is Vraska back? Because he's heard of her name, that pulls that sentence out. So
Okay.
if you're putting 2 and 2 together,
Okay. Cool.
you've got a decent idea.
Teratogen, wow. I got
Teratogen or Bafwa.
been in charge for a while.
They've been in.
Haven't been in charge for a while.
So they're rising in power?
Yeah, some got the Gorgon all riled. Riled up.
The Gorgons are around.
Riled up. Riled up. Riled up.
He's speaking over
Do
a
you know
sock
what he's
as
saying?
well.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's saying? Take the sock out of his
They're
mouth.
riled up. They're riled up. They're riled up.
Oh, put it back. Put it back.
They're riled up.
Is
Yeah.
he saying the Gorgons are back?
There's a new,
Power?
there's a new player in town.
They're getting like riled up.
There's a new player in town.
Vraska the
When
Unseen.
you, in your own mind,
Yeah.
keep going through and you're trying to communicate like, hey, there's a new player in town. They're not from around here. Another conversation comes to you of like, hey, there's this guy. He knew the Living Guild Pact. He bumped into him. A few people know him. Why don't we know about this guy? Yeah, he's running that guild. Have you heard of Project Lightning Bug? And you hear more of these things kind of piecing bits together, and it's
Does he
it
say
might not make
lightning bug?
Lightning Bug, Project
Okay.
Lightning Bug.
I'm gonna write
You
that down.
don't-
because
That's as far as you get with that
Yeah.
association. You
Okay.
can follow the rabbit.
I'm just gonna keep repeating very loudly, Vraska the Unseen, Regal Queen.
And you picture yourself
Very
as
nice.
a regal
Yeah,
queen.
you're a
Just,
princess.
Got it.
la,
Got it.
la, la.
Yeah.
It's-
You
Guys.
okay, Vinny?
Right? Yep. Are you okay? You remember something else?
So, Jason,
Take the
Jason
sock out of his mouth, please.
Power, Living Guild Pack. Living
Yeah.
Guild Pack.
There's a living guild pack. What do you remember about it?
And the new players.
Right.
And
Vraska.
Dragon gone.
Dragon's cool.
Who's the
Dragon
dragon?
gone.
He's the
Niv
But-
Mizzet. You
Yeah.
know the name Niv Mizzet.
So, there was like an old guy running guild, but then not since like millennial. And then Gargum had pinned down Vraska, his name,
yes.
fighting in the
Vraska.
program. Yeah, And
Think you could write this down? I don't know.
Cyclops. Cyclops?
A cyclops.
Uh-huh. And then Scrawny Kid. Cam Nord Scrawny Kid. And then
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then I killed my family. So then there's Spider, and then some guy having the Project Lightning Bug,
Project Lightning.
yeah,
What's Project Lightning?
Guild Pack, living, and then guys like, what? He's like, I don't know, Project Lightning Bug, and I'm like,
Do you know what this is? Have you heard of it?
I'm still like processing that he killed his family.
How much of what he's
Yeah,
saying do I know from my Azorius background?
I
Like,
can-
do I know
I
Jace or a
don't think
Project
you can-
Lightning Bug or
I
anything
can
like that?
Maybe see about
Now-
Granny.
If
She
she
might
knows,
have been
yeah.
part of it if it was very long ago.
And I'm sure he didn't kill his family. That must be the drugs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Prep-
And
Mom!
you know what? That's the thing. Like, there is a very limited amount of time where you are actually semi-coherent, because after a certain point, you are so
yeah.
you're making so many tangential connections all at the same time that you're just like melding colors, sensory information just stops to make sense, and you're just kind of, and you're just in a, effectively like a comatose state as you just take in
Okay, he's down.
the environment.
Like
We're staying here for a
together
while.
though, if I knew stuff together, could we make some kind of sense?
That's the thing. While you're there, and you're in a much happier state of mind, while he's saying a lot of this nonsense, you're like, Jace, Queen. Yeah, you are getting these much more controlled kind of flashes through your mind, and you keep picturing yourself in these classrooms where the Azorius are like, if you see this man, arrest him. If you see this man, arrest him. If
Do
you
I
see
see
this
him?
man, arrest him. He is. Oh,
Gilda's family.
roll
Oh,
history.
Oh my god.
We're learning so much.
Yeah.
11.
Did you murder your family?
Okay, so you hear all of these things that he's talking about, and it's just like a montage of arrest, violent offender, jail time, execute on sight, danger, and it's just all of these different faces on posters. One of them you can see, like, just the idea of like a Gorgon's head with Vraska's name kind of attached to it, and a large bounty. Another one kind of slaps on there, and you see the Cyclops, Borborigamos, he's a violent offender, execute on sight. At one point, it slaps onto an image of just a normal man. Blends into a crowd. But you, since you see his face and you kind of make that connection in your mind where you're making all of these free associations to the tiniest little nugget that's still in your mind, you recognize someone called the Butcher. And yeah, there is a reward, but that class goes on. Instead of the montage ends after these dozen or so names that are going on. And when it gets to him, there's also a little caveat, which is this man has technically been forgiven for his crimes. That being said,
However,
he has been forgiven of his crimes by an unrecognized branch of the Azorius. It is not official. The documentation still stands that his bounty is set at, and then you lose sight of, but it's a large number.
Okay, I'm gonna start like freaking out, kind of.
Whoa, what? No. Oh, should I pull her out?
write down what I said,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna drink from my flask from the sleepy side.
Oh, no.
no.
The
Oh,
last
God.
thing you do
All
is
I'm
just
doing
end it.
Yeah.
is like seeing dead things and like
No.
murder and
Yeah.
stuff I try to
So
forget.
you need to forget, yeah.
And while you do that to put yourself under, you have one more thing as you start to freak out seeing that, and it's that Lavinia, she's obsessed. She's driving us mad. People are losing sleep. We have better things to do. We can track things that aren't ghosts. She knows that he's gone. Why does she keep trying to pin him down? And the name Jace Balerin kind of slips through at some point in that conversation between these people talking about Lavinia. And you know of Lavinia, she's a very famous law mage.
As she's
Any of the
freaking
Joe
out,
district.
I'm just gonna cast Lesser Restoration on her. Kind of bring her out of that. Easy girl.
All right.
I got you.
Oh,
Come on
it's
back.
okay.
Yeah, I told you took too much.
Things start to slap together in a more coherent manner. You you can breathe a little bit easier. Yeah. All that you're left with by the time he does his lesser restoration, since you took such a powerful dose, is he doesn't eliminate it completely, but he actually leaves you with like a very soothing, calming, kind of warm, detached, painless, ethereal, air-like feeling. He actually doesn't get rid of all of it, but puts you in like that perfect
Nice.
buzz.
And I'm gonna be screaming as I drink from the sleep side of my flask.
I would have done it to you if you didn't put yourself out. Put that song back in, please. And all right, can we levitate him so we can keep kind of moving along at least
How long is he out for?
an hour?
Oh god, with his drink.
Oh,
You don't know
God
about
knows.
it.
I
God
don't know how long
knows.
I'm out for.
This whole process, by the way, took like I was giving you the parts that were
Bullet
important, but
point.
you
Oh, yeah.
saw a lot more than I
Yeah.
could describe. So that whole process took about half hour for you guys to have now calmed them down, restored Zoralia so that she's
The butcher.
feeling powerful and secure and confident. She looks like she's ready to take on the world, and he looks like he needs to be taken out of it, at least temporarily.
Nice.
So he is asleep. That's a half hour past.
Lavinia. The butcher.
that's
Um,
right.
Well,
You good?
yeah.
I'm great.
While they're out of it, do you want to try and like logically put together what they said? Because I'm scared.
Should we
Do what it said.
Should we,
Yeah.
should we do that as we go?
Yeah.
You can walk, right?
Oh, where are
You're
we going?
okay.
I could dance.
We're still going to find my father. Remember?
I should
My
dance.
father?
Could I play a song?
Rashad?
I'm gonna play a song.
No, we do not play songs.
Please don't play
Gotta
a
be very
song.
quiet. We gotta play the
Oh.
quiet game.
Oh, I know the quiet game. We're very good at the quiet game.
Be super sneaky.
We'll do that.
I feel like giving the mushrooms to the super sneaky people in our group was not a good idea.
Yes, this was all a terrible, terrible idea.
No, I
agree.
can. I'm very sneaky. Very sneaky.
Okay.
He should be very sneaky when he's floating.
Yeah, I just
That takes
realized.
me out of the game.
I just realized.
We'll get at sneaking.
I just realized I can only move him 200 feet. I can't like keep him tethered to me.
Okay.
So we'd have to carry him. But I'm too small to carry. Well, actually, I'm like the same weight as him.
All right.
So it would be. He is like the same weight as me, so it would be just like you having.
He's the
Me?
same weight.
I'm
Basically,
pretty strong.
Okay.
like he's so
I just-
so scrawny.
I'm gonna pick him up, throw him over one shoulder.
Yeah.
You're good. You could walk. You hold her hand.
I'll hold
make
her
sure she
hand.
stays quiet.
Okay.
And we can like skip along
You
a
guys
little
can
bit.
talk. Just a little.
Yeah.
Quiet, be quiet.
Yeah, just really, really quiet.
And we'll start following the trail again.
All right. So you're like, we
As
follow
you're
that
rambling
trail.
about the butcher and whatnot.
Yeah. So you got him over your shoulder. You look out at a rot farm, and you look at the stilts, and you're like, "Hoi!" So you've got. It is an arduous task, and you do not enjoy this, but it does get done after a solid hour and a half of just fucking mother goddamn whoa, almost him slipping off.
I'm gonna once again activate my little fluorescent shoulder caps.
Nice.
So, well, I guess you guys can all see it.
How long
Yeah.
until I wake up? We're going for now.
That's so cool.
You would wake
Just
up.
Follow the mushrooms.
Follow the
Kind
light.
of.
Follow them.
Glowing
Oh, but
mushrooms.
you drank the.
I took a little sip of the flask to knock myself out because I wanted to stop the memories.
Yeah, you would wake up while hovering over a whole bunch of a sea of gristle. So you would just be like, ugh, am I still tripping? What am I seeing? Until you kind of ugh, get a shoulder in your gut as Andavarius is like, God, this is fucking impossible. As he's operating stilts and holding on to you. And
Okay.
Oh, really? I thought we could just walk out.
I'm gonna pretend I'm still sleeping.
no, it's like a sludge
I could use
pit.
these stilts.
There are sewers that actually feed
Mm.
waste into here, and you
We
can see
could've
that
used
as you're
stilts
moving
earlier.
across and wading your way
We really
through,
should have.
that there are rakes, shovels, things to scoop and sort out the body parts. There are fields that are full of fresh waste that hasn't been processed. Other fields where things have been mulched and broken down, and actual mushrooms and crops are growing. So yeah, so you have to wade through all of this stuff.
On stilts. Are they on stilts?
I could be on stilts.
And yeah, how are you getting across? There's only 2 sets of stilts.
I can put you on my
How
back.
long is? How
Huh?
far is it?
Climb
How
on.
many
It's-
feet?
It's a good 500 feet plus.
Okay, I'm gonna be on your back. If you're about to fall in, then I'll start levitating. I'll have it ready.
Nice. Very good.
Good plan.
I'd levitate her because the
So yeah, well,
She's
well
on me.
actually, yeah,
Oh,
so I can
yeah.
levitate her,
Later.
which would then in turn levitate the both of us.
All right.
I'm
Awesome.
still gonna pretend I'm just sleeping.
Very
Free
good.
ride.
So you guys take some time, but you kind of stop when you gotta stop, get a breather, swap shoulders, back on the stilts, wade across some more. You guys are piggybacking.
God, it's
And
so hard.
You've never had a smoother. You guys are having a blast. You're like, yay! And so Rayleigh just feels so confident and loose and live. She's
Yeah,
and
at least
it's
you
almost
do
like
see.
when a parent is throwing a baby around or giving them a spin and they're laughing. That's almost what's happening here. Because you're not just walking on the stilts, you put one and go, whoa, and spin on it like someone who's charting a course and then step down. You're making a a little game, watch me. And she's like, yay! Spin again.
Yeah,
You're just like, motherfucker.
Sweat just pouring down my face, beat red.
Get across and just unceremoniously just dump him on the
As soon
floor.
as he's about to dump me on the floor, I'll just catch my feet and go, "Thank you."
Oh, God.
Seriously? You're awake? I fucking hate you.
Now I'm awake, but I mean, I wasn't awake.
Yeah.
I'm letting you get eaten today.
Yeah.
Dick.
So a good hour and a half has passed, and you guys are now across that field, and you can see the spots where the sticks of your stilts have dragged through, and you're just like, oh God. Ugh, throw those down. You're on the other side. You guys are all awake. It's mostly worn off. It was very fun. By the time you get to the other side, you're like, I'm actually very tired though. Tank, this is tough.
Oh, I guess that was a lot of work, but it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. It made me forget about all the traumatizing things that everyone said. I really
Do I
did.
remember everything?
There was trauma?
Did I hold on to it after the trip?
Oh, wait, you were high. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, because you didn't
Okay,
hit a crap
okay.
ton.
You remember
Yeah, I just
the
licked it.
butchery
Yeah,
stuff,
you remember
Okay.
quite a bit.
but you don't know it's him. So she remembers someone called the Butcher, but she doesn't remember that it's him. For now. Okay.
She
So,
Do I remember Tim?
or,
yes.
okay. So that is
She-
clear enough
yeah.
for her. Okay. Because I was about to tell her
Not
what
saying
he
anything
said,
about
but
it.
then it's
Yeah.
So you guys have a good time, or
Oh yeah, that was great.
By
yeah?
the way, Lisa, you wouldn't have known to pay particular attention to this, but other names come up like Massacre Girl, and so does Sparktova, for whatever that means.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
It's a small looking little
Massacre
is it
Girl.
Staticaster.
We've already cleared that.
Just so you know.
She's fine.
Sparktova has also been technically forgiven of her crimes, but also by a branch of the Azorius, which is not officially recognized.
You are a bad girl.
Alright, did you find your dad's trail still?
Yep, it's still right here.
Mhm.
Veers off to the right, as you can see those little spores there.
Right. I was gonna be drinking from the correct side of it.
Maybe you shouldn't drink so much and try
No,
to hold
it's-
on
no.
to the things we were trying to get after there.
No, they're right there. Got a lot of skill set with the mind and stuff. It's great. It's all there.
You said a lot of things back there.
Yep, I said a lot of things back there.
But you should probably leave that.
Leave it alone?
Yeah.
By the
just
way,
do a little
so
bit.
you helped Lisa. She is not poisoned, because what this does is it gives you some. It has some pluses for
Yeah.
sure, but it does kind of hit you like a truck, and it does make you a little bit woozy. You used minor restoration, so you actually got rid of the poison effect on her.
Yeah.
But you did
Yeah.
not receive
That's
such
fine.
treatment, and you combine that with a sleeping potion, and you
Booze.
now drinking alcohol. You are counting as poison.
Sweet.
You are standing there like, yeah, I was awake the whole time. I could have done it if I wanted. And you see him like shaking and trembling.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, really?
Alright. Well,
That was great.
you look alright. Fine. Just remembering that you were sleeping while I was carrying you. Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine.
It's because I don't feel good. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't think you had as much fun as I did.
I would say it's
whisper-
probably correct. Yeah.
But you were flying. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I'll go to Andy and like pull on his shirt and then whisper to him.
What the fuck? Oh. Sorry.
It's me, Andy.
Yeah. Just don't sneak up on me like that. Very quiet.
I'll wear a bell.
Bad idea.
Get down here.
What is it?
Don't patronize me.
You can't wait.
Get down here.
Yeah.
Don't pay. Is that what you called me down here?
Yeah.
Such
Anything
a sassy
else?
child.
Oh my god. I was just gonna whisper to him. He needed to like use very strong magical powers to make him forget. So I feel like he's gonna be able to remember his stuff for a while, even if he's drinking. Every single time I see him, he's drinking.
I know, but
So I
it's a
think he-
dangerous place down here.
I know I'm gonna die.
So maybe we shouldn't all be all drunk and high, having a great time.
You were the one that told me to go get the mushrooms.
It's his idea.
Not having a great time, just for the record. Not having a great
Nobody
time.
cares.
I care.
Thank you.
Now let's go.
Alright.
Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Let's go
God.
find your dad. That's what we're doing.
Right. And as we go on, we'll talk about this is Vraska. So the Vraska, this Gorgon queen, she's back. I mean, we've heard of her in the family, and she's been kind of pulling strings from the shadows, but didn't realize she was back and in power again.
Was it at one point that they talked about me and someone said you're the new player in town? Yeah.
Someone.
And then someone talked about Vraska talking about the new player in town. And someone talked about okay.
That's a
Jace.
phrase you've heard many
Yeah.
times over the course of your life, and that kind of mnemonic trigger just happened to go. That phrase is associated with specific people.
I gotcha. So, yeah, apparently that qualifies as new player in town, right? But also I think the guy Jace, he's new player in town.
Who does he work for?
I don't really know who he works for or anything. It just I didn't catch too much of it. Really.
You heard the
Something
people talking
living
like,
guild pack, something people talking about stuff, and it's all kind of just bits and pieces. Not a lot of connecting chunks, just little bits jumping from A to B rather than a straight line kind of stuff. Apparently, I was a new player at some point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to me? New player in town.
Do I know that they associate with a specific type of person, or does she? Like, because you've been in these words for a long time.
like player code or something?
17 years.
No,
Just a
that
student, though.
phrase wouldn't mean
Yeah.
all that much to you, because the Azorius prides itself on making sure that people who can be found are found with haste, and they are held accountable for their crimes. The Azorius take great pride in that, and so most people they don't like to bandy about outside of the guild about people that they haven't quite caught. The only people that applies to are Vraska, really, that you know of. That's the one that stands out to you because they can't ever seem to track her down.
That's why she's the unseen.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe once we find your father.
Oh, and Lavinia when talking about Jace.
Yeah.
Maybe once we find your father, we can go back to Rhino. Because Project Lightning Bug. Is that like an
Sounds
actual
like something
thing?
she would know about.
Sounds
Or
like
was
something
that,
that a
like-
lightning October would know about.
Right. And my father, he probably knows a lot more than I would
Bugs.
about this Vraska.
Oh, I was
Bugs?
thinking bugs.
Yes, I'm sure he
He
knows
knows a lot
more
about
about bugs.
So
And did you find out something about where you're from? Any old memories of your
when is your birthday?
family?
Did you find that out?
Did I figure out my birthday? I don't think I would have figured out my
No.
birthday. No.
That's okay.
You
No,
didn't
I didn't-
follow that trail.
That trail was probably better than the trail that I did follow, but probably less.
But yeah. I was whispering it to you while I was stroking you, but I feel like you were just screaming.
Yeah, she
So.
probably should have said it loud because I think he said some stuff loud that got me on a thing.
Yeah.
It was great.
I was trying to be nice.
So I was just trying to pull out everything you
Right.
knew.
It's probably
Was
good.
it helpful?
I remember just being sent out to do a lot of bad jobs, and then another bad job, then another bad job, then another bad job.
Bad jobs you'd want to forget, kind of thing.
Yeah, and being given the opportunity to forget them and me jumping on board. But I remembered a lot of them, so that's great because that came back sharp as a tack, kind of fuzzy, but still the emotions there,
Yeah.
which is what really, that's what you want to keep. That's what you want to keep.
How do you feel? You all right? Want to talk about it?
Not really. Not quite sure what to say. And I like to think I'm not a dick. Right? Comparatively.
Well,
And,
Yeah.
that's sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And right there was kind of
yeah, well,
proof.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. He made me a bow. I think it's nice.
Yeah, right. And starting to kind of think that I might be a bit of a dick, but not like a dick, but
Right.
like a darker dick.
Like,
I'll
leave it alone.
No.
Just going into dark places.
Right. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's find your father.
let's go. All right, back on the trail, stealthy as
Back
we
on
can,
the trail to
everyone.
Daddy.
Yeah, if you guys want me to be stealthy and perceptive as I can be,
Mhm.
gonna be honest, not really feeling the greatest. That might get some critters there. Actually, there's quite a lot of good food in there.
Fine.
Oh my god!
I'll just.
Are you gonna piggyback him again?
No, I'm gonna poke him with my staff and just cast Lesser Restoration.
Nice. You are no longer poisoned, which is
you.
going to be very handy because if you guys are going to try to follow on the trail of your father in a stealthy manner, that's going to be a group stealth check.
You know, it's handy having spell slots.
It's pretty handy. Pretty
Handy.
handy. Handy. Handavarius. That was the name of your old girlfriend. Yeah.
What do you mean old?
Oh
Current.
dear.
Oh, you've only had
Have you met
girlfriends
Handavarius?
around the same age
With
as your
us since the
mum.
beginning.
That's right.
Through thick and
Yeah,
thin.
I like the older ladies.
Mostly then.
They're appreciative.
All right, you guys are searching for Andavarius' father, who is in grave danger.
I got a 10 on stealth.
10 for
Oh yeah,
stealth.
we're rolling for
Oh.
stealth.
Yeah.
At disadvantage.
Oh yes, you.
Armor.
17.
Okay.
18.
Nice.
Oh, goodness.
Just don't crit fail.
Yeah.
Because right now you've got 2. That's half of the group is passing.
That's a 10.
Okay, fantastic. So, you are following on the trail of spores that your father has left behind. These spores, though small and innocuous, they haven't actually been eaten over by the native kind of flora. They haven't been overcome because some kind of magical property to them
spicy.
is keeping the other stuff from just eating over. The whole point of them is to be a followable trail. So you're walking behind. The rest of you are all moving until the mushrooms stop. The trail ends rather abruptly, and
I look around and try to pick it back up.
that's the thing. You go to pick up the trail, and you do, but it's not in the form that you would prefer. There is a dead drudge beetle, and the markings on the chitin of that drudge beetle and the strapped on kind of harness and saddlebags that are on it, you know that this is your father's drudge beetle.
How big is it?
A drudge beetle is honestly about this big. It's the size of a large dog. Almost think of like a Saint
So
Bernard.
it's like a pack mule kind of?
Yes, that's
Okay.
kind of what a drudge beetle is. It's a beast of burden, and you know that this is Marquis. That's what your father named the drudge
Oh,
beetle,
no,
and it
Marquis.
is smashed in. It has scratch marks on the chitin around its legs. Quite a few of the legs have been pulled out, and there are large bites and holes kind of torn. The plates seem to have been ripped open in places. It seems like it was mauled by multiple mouths, multiple animals. Marquis is spread all over the place.
You alright?
Marquis is dead.
Andy. Andy.
I
No,
think my beetle's hurt.
Andy. No.
No?
Did you
Golgari never have to learn that lesson that kids learn when their goldfish die, because when the goldfish
big.
dies, their parents are like, "Whoa, it's still alive!" So he's like, "Are you okay, Marquis?"
Marquis.
It's just torn to bits.
Oh my god.
He's got to look in 4 different directions and ask it if it's okay. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
No, this was my father's beetle.
you're introducing it.
This
Not-
was my father's beetle.
nice to meet you.
Hello, Marky.
And I'll look over here at another piece of it. Hello, Marquis.
Well, I think he may have died.
I'm gonna shake one of its arms. Like,
Nice.
hello. Hold off.
Nice to meet you for a second.
Oh my god. It does serve as a
Nice
good-
to meet you,
Oh my
Marquis.
goodness. Okay.
Don't just throw it out. We can at least keep it.
It's landed over
it
there.
does
Is it
have a
over there?
consistency like
Should
crab,
we maybe bury it?
like a crab leg.
Oh
Would you like
goodness.
to bury it?
Well,
Where is your dad? Is that
That's the
who-
important
Yeah.
You see that whatever took
Where is he?
bites out of Marquis
Mhm.
stuff was dripping off of them. The guts and juices that are flowing through that drudge beetle, they're dripping and splattered off in a certain direction.
right.
And you can see at this point that the ground is not isn't untread upon. It's not all fresh and plump and lovely and intact. You can see that there was a lot of scuffling in this area. Spots where people kind of slid their feet and kind of scraped the mushroom and thin soil and muck layer off of kind of hard cobblestones a couple inches beneath. You can see that there was a lot of frantic activity here, and it goes off in a certain direction, dripping that kind of green ichorous, nearly fluorescent blood.
Can I do a survival check to see what kind of creature, assess the kind of damage and footprints and all that?
Yes, and you would be perfect for this because you're familiar with the creatures that are normally down here. These guys can go,
Yeah.
it was roughly this many things, but not know what. You would have an idea of what.
Does that give me an advantage or anything?
Not unless these guys help.
All right.
Can I help him? What? Yeah. You know what? Dink.
Mhm.
Why don't you help him?
Oh, I will. I'm just seeing if I have any spells. that will
Perfect.
be able-
You
I'm
give him
doing
some
it on
help
my own.
there.
It's 20.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
well,
Oh, good.
do you want to maybe help me
Yeah.
take a look? Australia, you want to help? I want to use some perception to see if I can
Oh, yes.
perceive if there's anything out there that might still be trying to get some more food.
Oh,
Yes.
Give me some help.
I will definitely go with you.
All right, so as you're
19.
looking around the environment
Ooh.
and Tink comes up beside you like, how can I help? You're like, look over there. You're just pointing her in a direction so that
Yeah.
she doesn't tamper with evidence.
Exactly.
And she's
Yeah.
looking at nothing.
I'll just-
and you're
I'll just
just
ask-
fine.
so do your kind bleed fluorescent blood? Because, like, there's a
What
lot
do you
of
mean, my
it.
kind?
Well, like,
Dicks.
Half elves?
yeah.
No, half
Like, I've
elves.
never seen you bleed. Okay, then your dad should be fine.
Well, he's not a half elf, but yeah, humans do not either.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what he was.
I got a 24.
Yeah,
Go over
anything.
there.
Yeah.
I got a 24 in perception. Is there anything else around that might be waiting to feed?
There is.
Oh.
And while you're looking
Oh,
around,
God.
you're going, okay, that's a human-sized boot print.
Mhm.
You can very easily tell. And then you see almost like a large dog, like a wolf-like paw,
Mhm.
almost, but the way that it ends at the tendrils, they're not claws necessarily, and they're multi-pronged. They're thorned. They're more vine-like in composition. Moss dogs are things that are used in the same manner as hunting hounds
How big
and
are moss
war
dogs?
Moss dogs are like large pit bulls in terms of their size. They're the kind of animal you would bring to a fight, to a war, or to protect some kind of criminal undertaking.
And how many could I make out? With 20?
You got a 20? It looks like there are two distinct sizes. One of them is a larger paw, but it just has the four marks that kind of follow in one trail. The other one has these like lines scratched to either side of it, and at first you can't quite place it, but you know that some moss dogs, there are greater moss dogs, and they are just bulk and size, and they grab onto something and do not let go. And then there are thrashing moss dogs, things that can actually constrict and pull down. They are good at climbing and getting into nooks and crannies, taking down flying, flittering creatures that might penetrate defenses. You think that you might have a thrashing moss dog and a greater moss dog on your hand, along with
Can you
some
tell me
more
this?
human boot prints.
So,
Big skill.
Hanging out, black, smooth, and it's that smooth shine to its kind of to its dome-like skull, where you're kind of looking out, going pipes.
So it
pipes,
looks like there's a couple
creature. There is a thing, and every once in a while they come up to the surface at night, especially around Deadbridge Chasm, and it is appropriately named the Slum Reaper. This thing has two like long kind of sickle-like in an eyeless dome, and it's kind of folded up nearby. It doesn't make noise. It's just sitting there, but it's nearby, and the thing is about 8 feet tall.
So there's a big moss dog.
Slum Reaper. There's a Slum Reaper. It's like 8 feet tall. I'm gonna point.
Do you know
Wherever
what
it
these things are?
I know everything.
You're behind me.
Okay.
You're behind me. Which way?
I'm gonna point to it. Has it recognized us, or is it just like there?
These things do not have recognizable emotion.
Ah.
They do not have facial features beyond a mouth, and that mouth does not emote. All you know is that it is still, and it is nearby, and when they come out, there is no like, I'm gonna play this slow and wear down my opponent. They burst out into a flurry of scything action. You know that whenever these things show up, it just threshes its way through a street and then picks up the bits and walks off.
Kinda-
It doesn't stalk its prey.
What kind of ambient lighting's in this area?
You,
Yeah,
you're the lighting.
right.
I'm hidden behind you. I can get behind you.
Okay, which way is this Reaper compared to the blood trail of the moss dogs?
You guys are heading roughly north to follow the blood trail.
Uh-huh.
This thing is off to the west. It's nestled itself nearby.
Should we head east a little bit, and then kind of curve around to go north? See if we can stay out of its area a little bit, maybe.
Anyone have anything that can make us a little quieter?
I have an idea. We're all wearing boots and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Can I have mushroom armor too now, right? I'm gonna take I'm assuming there's some like arm pads on the inside and outsides.
Yeah.
1, 2, 4. So I'm gonna take the arm pad parts off so that I have 4 pieces like this.
Shh. Sorry.
Give me your foot. And I'm gonna put it on the bottom of her foot there, right? And I'm gonna pull off. So I'll put these ones on Zoralia. Zoralia, put these on your feet. They're mushroom pads. Should probably do. Are they sticky or are they like little plumpy things?
They are. It's almost like a rubber sole.
Okay.
To a.
Like a sneaker, if you will.
Very inventive.
Take my little shoulder pads off. Put them on the bottom of my feet.
I'm casting levitate on Andy. Just because he has like his armor and stuff, so I don't want him to even make like a wrestling movement. And you're gonna be just held up in the air.
Nice.
And as we move away, he can move 20 feet with each of my actions.
Very good.
Okay.
So, yeah, every time I move my
That's cool.
speed, he'll move like
I'm
20 feet.
gonna dim my mushrooms
Good idea.
on the portraits. Someone wants to hold his hand.
You said that.
I will hold his hand.
Kill me, Andy.
You dim the light and you go, hold my hand. And now that you guys have stopped moving, and now that you guys have gone quiet, and now that the lights are dim, the Reaper starts to unfold itself and kind of puts its sickle claws on either side, and it has like the hooked claws on each of its legs. This thing is quite a nasty little bug. You're probably going to want to start moving now that it
How
thinks
far is it
there's
from us?
It's like 35 feet away.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Right there.
You're dropping back down again and we're running. Because
Is it coming because I turned off the lights?
It does not have eyes that you know. This thing senses heat. It senses like new chemicals breathed into the air. It can kind of feel vibrations through the wall that has what's called like tremor sense. So now that you guys have stopped and are just breathing in one continuous spot, it thinks that nothing is here and it's real time.
I'm going to take a large rock that I can find near me without or a branch, the biggest thing I could find.
Yep.
Without walking, just something I can pick up.
You have a leg or a head of Marquis.
Cool. I'm gonna see if I can throw it over the beetle so that it makes sound, tremors, smells from goo hitting a tree and exploding, whatever.
You wanna
behind
pass
it.
that to me? I can throw a lot farther than you.
Yeah, I'm pretty
oh
weak.
yeah.
All right. Athletics.
He helped me. He passed it to me.
Yeet, come on.
So that's athletics? Alright.
Wait. I will look at you and give you the wink.
Oh yeah, I got this now.
You got this.
Plus D6.
Yes. It's a D6, not a D8.
So that's a 17.
You pull Marquis' head off. I'm like, thank you. Alas, poor Marquis.
I knew him, Horatio.
And it's all happening very quietly, other than like the stretching, plinging of like ripped tendon.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it through the air, and the claw from the Reaper just kind of sticks through the bottom of the skull, and the whole thing just drops down and kicks its legs off of the wall to either side to just, it spins and it sweeps all of that ground off and just, all these mushrooms and bits of stuff are going around as it pretty much blades around with its legs at ankle level, and the sides just rip out and swing over. That thing is just, boom, a flurry of activity. What do you do?
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna do an insight check as we're going.
An insight check?
Yes, 19 plus. I don't know what my insight is. Plus 5, so 24. I'm gonna use that third level thing that I picked up last time to be able to figure out the tactical, like weaknesses and stuff like that I can counter against enemies by like looking at them.
Right, so as these guys are moving out of the way, you look at this thing and start to notice that as soon as it kind of does this flurry of activity, it's smacking its limbs against the wall, echoing all over the place, and it pulls the head in close. You realize that its legs kind of have to pop back into place, almost like it dislocates things in order to do this massive game-ending opener. But it, almost like a skunk having to take some time to kind of build up its defense mechanism, you realize that this thing pulling it in almost like the process hurts.
Yeah.
And it takes some time. It does it with one leg at a time. You figure if you could bait that reaction prior to a fight, you've got the worst part of this creature out of the way.
Like we just did.
So I'm gonna say that to them. Whispering as we're walking.
Awesome.
Whisper, whisper, whisper. Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Good to know if he comes back.
I don't know if you guys can actually use that for your revenge or not, but I
Well,
can.
if it comes back, I have magic mouth, so
Yeah.
I could like put,
Mm.
I could like shout something, and
From somewhere else.
it would be yeah. Like I would probably also cast Expeditious Retreat, so I could like run in
Be a
one
good idea.
direction
Mhm.
and then go. But yeah,
How fast can we move while we're sneaking? Do we roll sneak yet? Or stealth?
You
We
did
did
roll
not.
your
Oh,
stealth.
yes, we did.
And that thing is making a crap ton of noise right now. It's having its food, so it's just a lot of echoing nonsense that's going through the tunnels. You guys are just adding to the nonsense.
Okay, cool.
So you can move rather quickly.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab a couple of legs, and just in case we need to throw it at him, and tuck him under the arm, and my little
Awesome.
sneaker
I hope
mushrooms.
that thing didn't eat your papa.
Who, Marquis?
No,
Yeah, that's what she meant,
The
Marquis.
big thing. I don't think Marquis ate your papa.
I hope not too, obviously.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, that was why you saw the Slum
Yeah.
Reaper in the first place, is because it's perfectly still, other than when it was springing itself back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys kind of run away from that thing, making good time. And you're able to move a little bit quicker while remaining stealthy because it's making so much noise while eating. And then, just as you're going, okay, well, we have to start quieting down because that thing's echoes are no longer following us, there are new echoes from ahead. You guys are following the trail not of spores, but of dropped blood
Right.
and of activity, and you see another body in your path. This one, however, is of a common thug, a Golgari thug, one of the humans that has teamed up with the swarm to try to live just a little bit longer day by day. That person is dead. And it looks like it
How
was
far are we from the encounter we just had?
you guys are a good, it's gotta be like 500 or so meters, like half a kilometer. You guys have kind
Okay.
of moved
In a few
away
minutes.
before you see this body, and this person has been slashed and ripped. It's almost like a death of 1,000 cuts that this person has suffered, but in each of those cuts, you can see that there are balloons that are growing, little bits of hyperactive kind of roots that are starting to kind of work through the fleshy parts of it. Something killed this guy.
Looks like
and-
my father got the better part of this.
Was it?
That's definitely
Oh,
what it was.
that's
Your
not
father.
your dad. Okay, that's good.
As you say, I think my father got the better part of this, you hear some of that echoing from ahead start to reverberate back to you. And it's nonsense at first, but you can tell that there are voices in conversation. The first one is not your father, the second one is.
Is your father part of
You
the
can't hear what they're saying from this far, but you guys can sync up to...
Is your father part of a thug gang?
A thug?
Probably not what's happening. Let's go look.
I mean, it's possible, but he probably would not have killed one of them.
Let's find out. Let's go.
Well, maybe if he was an asshole, he killed him.
Sneak up.
No, he's a really nice guy.
I'm gonna just leave them and start sneaking
I
up.
meant
Yeah,
the thug.
I'll
Alright.
just
Oh,
have a
wait,
sneak
I'm
with
gonna check this guy's pockets while you're sneaking up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take the guy's eye.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, you might want to put that in your jar. The other guy's getting hungry.
With the other eye, because he's
Yes.
lonely.
It's not.
He's
It's probably
hungry.
last time he checked it, the eye was almost
Fine,
like
fine,
a
fine,
brazen.
fine.
And then I'll
And
sneak
I'm
it up.
sneaking
Yeah.
with you.
Awesome. So you're like, there you go, buddy.
Yeah.
And you start creeping ahead, and the bunch of you guys start moving towards
Well, I was checking out what was in the body, if there was anything.
I hope you find lots of coins.
I'm gonna have you
Yeah,
roll
coins.
an
Coins.
investigation because you are looking in the dark a little bit in this. Oh, wait, you have dark vision.
Yes.
So you're fine. Roll normal dice. The rest of you guys, I'm going to have you guys do a group stealth.
I guess I'm probably not floating anymore.
Nope.
I guess not.
5.
7.
Oh,
16.
Okay.
I got 16 for the investigation, so.
Very nice. So, as you're kind of looking through this guy's pockets, you can see that he does have some money on him. By the feel, you kind of grab at these coins, open it up, there must be close to 200 copper zibs worth of cash there in terms of electrum, and there's actually a gold in there, and you're like, this guy's got some money on him.
200 copper and a gold?
Yeah. The weird thing to you, as you're looking through his pockets, you're finding other rations and personal effects. He still has his weapons on him. The people didn't stop to take his stuff off of him. Because they're still clearly kind of have something to attend to, but you're the first one to get access to it.
What kind of weapons does he have?
This guy has a longsword with him. It's of a specific make that the Golgari tend to favor. The hand and a half. It's more like a machete type thing for hacking through. Yeah, it is a more common one. He also has a knife on him, and you can see that he has these
Grab the knife.
seeds. He has 3 black seeds on them with like a distinguished split, and they're hard, almost like a giant pistachio. They look like.
Hard black seeds.
Yes.
Okay. Do I know what they are? What they do?
You could do a nature.
Okay.
Sorry, give me a minute.
Yeah, he's
scared.
looking, and you guys are running.
I'm just sneaking up to look.
I'm
That's
getting
an
ready.
18.
Nice. All right. So this is something that if you were to smash it and crack it, it does take quite a bit of force, but this thing emits a very loud noise, and what happens when you kind of bust it up is it flings stuff all over the place. It's almost like a flashbang grenade. But the problem is you really have to be holding it or have some way of cracking it by the time you
Does it
throw it.
really flash?
Yeah.
Cool.
Flashbang.
Alright, what I miss? We're gone.
So you're there, you're like, all right, guys, and they are far ahead as you start sneaking up behind them.
Chink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what's up?
You forgot to. I forgot to remind you about wild magic because of the spells I've done.
Oh, you cast a
Do you
spell,
wanna
did
have
you?
it
Like
go
a
off?
resist, or
You
just
don't
like
have
a
to do it every time.
Yeah.
do a penalty next time.
Do you want to do? Yeah, give me a penalty next time.
Negative D20.
Okay.
Yeah, I need it.
Sure. So you guys have started creeping forward, and you guys realize that you're being a little bit noisy, but not only is there other noise that's being made to cover your approach, but it's involved. It's 2 people interacting with you. It's not something that's just walking around making noise. There are 2 things engaged in a conversation. So you guys are able to get close enough to hear, but not so far into the cave that you can actually see the people talking. But as you guys are creeping forward into a cave that looks like this, you guys move over to here. Oh, nope.
Not
That's
that. Oh God,
I was
not
like,
that
here
way.
again.
Not that
We're gonna be
way.
going in circles.
You guys move to a place that looks like this.
It's so
Ooh.
tiny.
The cave is filled with so many different vibrant layers of growth and moss. Some of it bioluminescent, the spores floating thick through the air. It's kind of beautiful in a sense as you get into this very thickly carpeted area.
It's really pretty.
And as you guys get in there, you start to hear, you led us on a merry little chase. And I'm telling you now, you keep running and we'll get our pleasure out of this in a way that you won't enjoy.
It's my dad.
And, and then you hear Richard going, now, I do not think you know who it is that you are chasing exactly, but I know who you are. I have seen you before. When my wife has gone to court, you are familiar. You are close to the court of the Cilia, are you not? They know me by extension. Through Lady Feldara. You do not want to do this. Well, you see, the thing with the Golgari is, as long as I can puppet your corpse, you're worth as much dead as alive. Ah! You cannot say, bitch, that I am as valuable to the swarm as a shambling corpse as I am now. In my living form, I have a new specimen that I am keeping under control. You kill me, and this thing will come to life. Leave it now, or it will be the death of you. And she just responds, I don't much care how valuable you are. In fact, that doesn't really play in. And I want what you have.
I'm gonna ready in action.
I need to curry favor in the new court. The Celia are no more. What do you mean the Celia are no more? And she says, well, you see, there's a new player in town. An old face coming into the light where formerly unseen. And that is
Celia.
where we are going to pick up from.
Oh,
Next
God.
time,
Okay.
as you guys hear this conversation,
your action.
as you're creeping closer, we
Shoot
will
him.
pick that up in the next one.
Oh, okay.
Can I
That's
do
good.
something before it? Yeah.
That's just
That's where we're at?
that's Ravnica for you. What are you still doing here? We're closing up. We gotta get gone. I can resume again next time. I'll be on the lookout for you.
There is a place at the core of it all where the tales and the glasses are equally tall. The chances you've heard one he hasn't are slim. Welcome to Grimm's on Grimm. Welcome to Grimm.